Welcome in to Canes Power Play, going over Game 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, first-round matchup versus the Ottawa Senators. And Canes up 3-0 in the series so far, and, they've been in control kind of the whole, I can't say whole series because obviously they have up 3-0, but every game it kind of seems like they've been in control. But I've got Gabe with me again today. He's going to go over, I want his opinion on a couple of things. One, Brady Tkachuk, I guess we'll go into that. Brady Tkachuk kind of runs into Jordan Martinook. I'll pop it up on the YouTube video so you guys will be able to see that. But yeah, I mean, Brady Tkachuk is clearly intense. His intentions were to hit or to run into Jordan Martinook. Jordan Martinook ends up being hurt. He kind of throws his stick 10 feet to the boards, and to me it looked like Tkachuk kind of maybe hit him with the hook of his stick. Not too sure of what really happened. Don't have the greatest view on it. But Gabe, what was your takes on that?
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he did that. It was Martinook was completely away from the play. The puck wasn't even close. Tkachuk just came out from the side of him, like you said, just pokes him with the stick. It was completely unnecessary, cheap shot. I mean, and that's kind of the type of plays. I mean, I guess you would see if you're down, and you're about to go down 3-0, and you just start playing reckless like that. You start playing angry, and
yeah.
I mean, we saw earlier too. Tkachuk slammed the board when he missed a shot.
Yeah,
when he would miss. So I don't know. I don't know why he did.
Yeah,
I don't know why he did that.
No, I mean, definitely when you're down, in the situation, and Tim Stützle, he said there's no room out there. He spoke to Travis Green on the bench, and if you can read lips, he said there's no room out there, and there wasn't. I mean, that's the way Carolina plays. I think Carolina's frustrating Ottawa, and it's shown. Carolina's up 3-0. Brady Tkachuk. I want to call it a dirty play? Maybe. You could definitely make an argument for it, but definitely a cheap shot. That's his second cheap shot of the series. That I've seen. The one with Aho where he hit him in the back of the neck, and then that one on Martinook. But you look at the way the Canes are rolling, and a big reason to Freddie Anderson. They're up 3-0 because of him. He's came in here and won all 3 games with a .84 goals against on average. Under 1 is insane. And .964 save percentage. And overall, he's been your guy that's led the way. And, I talked to Logan Stankoven about it. He said that, when we need, when Freddie needs to make a saves, he does it. And he's done it well in this playoffs. And a big reason Canes are in control. But going over some stats from Game 3, faceoffs look better for sure. Aho was one of those guys in charge. 7-4-11 in the faceoffs, 63.6%. So anytime that number's above 50, you're going to be pretty satisfied with that, especially against a really, really good team in Ottawa. Jackson Blake, 1 goal, but man, he played like a wrecking ball. Really, really good game for him. One big notice from his game and how it's grown is he's not really a guy that, that rookie season was physical and drove into danger, but he's doing it. He's doing it right here and in this playoff series, and it's nice to see. Carrier 5 hits again, so just some more physicality from him. Ehlers 5 shots missed. You've got to hit the net. He's got a really good shot. He made one good play where he was coming into the O zone, 1-on-2, and he made a nice windmill deke into the middle of the ice and put a shot that I think he scores on 7 times out of 10. Just wasn't able to there. It missed the net, so I'd like to see him hit the net a little bit more. Taylor Hall, 2 assists and a +2. Really, really good player. He's kind of he's been reborn in Carolina. He's playing really well. Big reason that second line is so good. Jankowski 5 for 6 on faceoffs for 83.3%. Again, anytime you're that good, it's always going to be a positive, and Carolina's definitely needed that. And the fact that they're up 3-0 and they haven't looked great in the dot until last night is kind of insane. Jarvis, we know that he's kind of been a little sluggish, maybe flat, not playing the way that he wants to, but I thought last night he had moments that it looked like he was back. Some of the shots he was shooting had a lot of power on him. Some of the defensive plays, some of even just off the puck movement, he looked a little bit better at moments. There were still times where it was like, but he still had moments where it was like, okay, Jarvis isn't Jarvis isn't a ghost. He's right there. Eric Robinson on that fourth line, I thought, had a really solid game. Really good game for him, and you take that all day long from E-Rob, and you know what he's going to bring. He's going to be able to do that for you. He's going to be able to go out there and lay the body, play a good two-way game, play a fast game, good skater. So good game from him. Jordan Staal, again, face-offs, 18 for 32 in the dot, 56%. Same thing that I've said with Jankowski and Aho on the face-offs. Logan Stankoven, 1 goal. He starts the game again. I don't gamble, but if I did, I'm going to gamble that game 4, Logan Stankoven scores the first goal. He's done it 3 games in a row, Gabe. Like, how is it that Stankoven is he's starting the game so early and so hot, and it's really impressive to see. And if this keeps going, then I'm gonna have to ask him why do you want to score first? Like, he's just always doing it. I feel like maybe it's him in the right spot. Taylor Hall feeds him on a really nice one-timer. Gabe, when you watch Logan Stankoven play hockey, give me 3 things that stick out.
Well, the way he pursues the puck, too, is he gets to it in time. I mean, you even mentioned it on your podcast with him, too. He's always in front of the net. He's very – and yesterday I noticed he actually made a hit, too. Like,
he's physical. He's 5'8", but
he tries to do everything.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to say it. And he does do everything. Like, he tries to. And, yes, there's some areas where he'll struggle every now and then. I've noticed some turnovers that – I think could have been prevented. But even the saucer passes he was trying were the great attempts to Taylor Hall, like both times. Like, the way he plays is so perfect. Like, he's 5'8", and he's a phenomenal hockey player. Imagine he was 6'1", 6'2". He would be one of the best players in the league. I truly believe that. His style, the way he plays hockey, he excels at it. And he starts the scoring again last night. Saturday, he's probably going to do it again tomorrow. So, yeah, he's just a really good player, all-around guy. And I think that Mikko Rantanen trade, you can finally take a big breath and say Carolina didn't lose it. I'm not going to say that they won the trade because you send over Mikko Rantanen. Franchise guy. There's no doubt about that. Top, 10 player in the league. But you get, some really good household names in Stankoven and Taylor Hall back in those deals. And a lot of people were crapping on Logan Stankoven. He shut everybody up. He did. My only flaw for him right now is I'd like to see him a little better in the faceoff dot. But the great news is this is his first year playing center. So you don't expect that for the next couple of seasons. Like, Bedard comes in, he's not going to win every faceoff, right? Because you're playing center in the National Hockey League. It's very difficult. And even then, Stankoven is going to develop faster in the dot because he has Jordan Staal around him. He has Rod Brindamore. So Stankoven in a couple years, I can really see being one of the best players in the National Hockey League as far as analytic goes, and just the way that you watch him. He's a hound dog out there on the puck. Jacob Slavin, the all-reliable pure shutdown defenseman with 4 blocks. Yeah, Slavin's just really good defensively. That's not a shocker. Sean Walker, this guy. I tweeted yesterday during the game that he's the most underrated player in the Canes because he is. He was +1, 3 blocks, and 6 hits. He does it all. He's so good.
I feel like no one ever talks about him.
No one talks about Sean Walker, and I'm gonna run. I might run on Instagram a Sean Walker lover page because he is so good at hockey, and it flies under the radar. Really that second pair with Miller. Miller's getting a little bit more love now. I've definitely seen. Sean Walker's not. Sean Walker's a big reason that pair is really good. He's a big reason the Canes defense is really good when Chatfield isn't playing well, which Chatfield has made some mistakes. Sean Walker's in there and able to get it back. And then Freddie Anderson, 21 for 22 last night. And my tweet, quote for quote, was, oh boy, he has been great. Because he has. He's been shut down. You look at his numbers, Gabe, in the regular season, below 900 save percentage. We know that he can play in the playoffs. We talked about it multiple times on this podcast that he's had moments in the playoffs where he's played good. Not this good. No,
he's looked incredible. Some of the saves he's made over this entire series have been incredible.
Even Umark. I'm going to give flowers where they're supposed to be given. Even Umark has been freaking outstanding. Like, you look at the saves he's made, he's above Freddie. Let me get the number right. I think it's 4.5 goals above save expected. He's above. And Freddie's made some saves where he's like, whoa. Umark's made, I think, better saves. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Umark has been a really good goalie. And it's unfortunate for Umark because you know what happened during the season with his mental health and everything like that. That's really important. You hope that obviously you hope that doesn't come back because he's playing on the Senators, and he's not able to get the help offensively, right? And, I'm not too positive if his mental health was from, his performance or outside. I didn't do too much research, so I'm not going to say much on it. But you love to see the story that he was able to come back and play really good in the playoffs. Obviously, if I wasn't a Canes fan, I would be hoping Ottawa would be able to give him some wins, because I hope that, he continues his success, because it's a great story. But you went against Carolina, man, and he's made some really good saves. He's a big reason they went to double overtime. He's a big reason. Look, if you can get swept in 2 games or 3 games, Ottawa wouldn't have gotten swept because of Ullmark. That makes no sense what I just said, but I'm trying to say that Ullmark had a really good series.
If you can get swept but look good, then that's good on your part.
Yeah, and I thought, Ottawa's offense does not look good. Defense, blah.
Oh, God, no.
But Ullmark, yes. And real quick, I'll do an injury update for Ottawa. Jake Sanderson. It was reported that he was out of last night's game because he hit to the head from Taylor Hall. However, he played 3 minutes after that. He left the game after blocking a shot on his hand. Travis Green, Ottawa's head coach, is doing everything he can to try to get Taylor Hall not only suspended but fined.
So they're trying to spin a narrative here.
Yeah, and I'll throw the hit up here on the YouTube video, so you guys see the hit. You guys comment down below if that was, suspension worthy. I definitely think it was a high hit. I'd be okay with a major, no suspension. If you want to throw a fine, all right, that's pocket change to Taylor Hall. But look,
the fines don't affect the fans.
And this is kind of on topic, but off topic. The NHL fines are the money is so much different than NBA. Like, was it LaMelo Ball or somebody that got fined like $50,000 for cussing?
Yeah.
And the most you can get fined under the CBA is $5,000 in the NHL.
Really?
Yeah, it's hilarious. I know the money's vastly different, but it's pretty funny that a lot of these guys don't care to get fined just because it's such a small amount. But
yeah, I know you don't want to keep talking about this, but like fines is like nothing to them.
Yeah,
it'd be like paying $20 like of our salary.
Yeah, no, it's nothing to even more than that because I'm broke. But no, going back into that hit, I would have been fine with a major. This is the issue is. Call it what you want. I don't really care. Like, I'm not going to bash an Ottawa Senators fan because they think it's a major penalty. Okay? That's your opinion. It's a hit to the head. So, for me, I can have an opinion both ways. It doesn't matter. Whatever the law says, that's what you follow. So, if that's a hit to the head and the refs missed it, that's on the refs. It's not on Taylor Hall. I guess, it could be for him getting hit, but it's not on anybody else for backing him up because he's not going to the box. Whatever the rule is that's what, they should follow. And if they miss it, then they miss it. And it's unfortunate. Same thing with the major penalty with Tkachuk. You call it a 5-minute major just to look at it. Obviously, it's not going to be a 5-minute major unless he shafted him, below the belt, but he didn't. Right? I think he hit him on the hand or the wrist or, kind of the side of the torso. So it is what it is. I just think he knocked the wind out of him. If you call it a 5-minute, get a good review going and call it that. So talk a little bit about a player that I think needs to step up, and then we're going to get out of here. If I can do so. I'm absolutely lost on the ESPN site. But I think there's a couple players in mind that I think need to step up. It's going to be on the top line for sure. So that second line, they don't need to do anything more. They could be scoreless for the rest of the first round, and we'd be okay. Scoreless for one more game, I should say. I'm going to go Svechnikov and Jarvis. I'm going to go both of them. Both of the big dogs. And the fact that you're manhandling a team that a lot of people said you were going to lose to or you were going to lose in 6 to without your top dogs playing good.
People were comparing this team to Florida in terms of the way they play.
Yeah, that's correct. They play the most like Florida, so it was definitely a tough matchup for Carolina. Logan Stankoven agreed that it was going to be a very difficult matchup. One of the toughest matchups in the playoffs. So I just think it's got to be Svech and Jarvis. And another thing that's interesting, my X factor isn't even up here for points in Shane Gostisbehere. So a couple of big guys missing. I do want to note this. We're going to get out of here right now, but I do want to note Gabe's X factor for the first round was Logan Stankoven.
Yes, that was my X factor. I'm not sure if I said it on the podcast or not,
Yeah,
but
you did.
okay, yeah, well, yeah, I thought it was his time. He finished the regular season on a hot streak, and I thought maybe it was time for someone on the second line to start, racking up some points. I know the whole team is very balanced, but I thought it was time for Stankoven, and I mean, I've been right so far.
You've nailed it on the money every single time. So, yeah, I'm really excited for Game 4. I'd like to see. I'm not expecting a win. I'm expecting Bussy in net, by the way. We'll see. I'll follow me on social medias for to kind of double check that. But I am interested to see how they play. Are they going to play like yeah, we want to win, but we lose, we lose. Because it's not like Ottawa's up 3-0 and they have a chance to win at home, to where if they lose, because a lot of teams that are the away team, but they're up 3-0 with a chance to win and move on to the next round at home. A lot of them want to get that done because they don't want to have that extra travel day to head back to wherever they're wherever the home team is. So Carolina doesn't have that because they're going to be in Raleigh anyway. So I do wonder how the guys come out if we get a win. Doesn't really matter as far as series goes. I think Carolina's really got it in control, and we'll be back in here Sunday making another video. So thank you guys for listening, watching. Make sure you guys subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, anywhere else. Check out Kane's Power Play website, and thank you guys very much.